good. Okay, very good.
Good morning and welcome to episode 1562 of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, October 8th, 2024. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor. If you need more Hard Factor, up to 3 weekly bonus podcasts. We just put one out today. Hilarious. Dirtier, raunchier, slimier, smellier over there. So patreon.com/Hard Factor if you need more. Today, Wes has a fools that work in schools and politics.
Yep. This guy's got a lot of titles. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I think it's a funny story. One that we've covered. It's a theme here on this show. You'll know probably exactly what I mean as soon as I get into it. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a theme.
Fantastic.
See that weirdo sitting behind you?
Yep. It's that weirdo Mr. Bowers back there.
Mr. Bowers. Find out about Mr. Bowers. Did you guys have a Mr. Bowers teacher? I didn't. It's a common one, though.
I think we had someone
No
very
weirdos really
close.
I could think of.
Bowers. Yeah, there was a Bowers. There was a Bowers in high school.
You mean actually? Are you talking about literally actually a guy named Bowers? That's what you mean?
I think I had a teacher named Mrs. Bowers.
I had a
Mrs.
Powers.
Bowers.
We had Powers, the math teacher.
It's close.
Yeah, obviously.
I've
What
got
else you teach, you know.
Yeah. We could do science maybe.
To the second Powers.
I had to be a math teacher.
Yeah. I've got the birds, the bees, and Vienna sausages on deck. Mark's got fruit fly, sex, and the merchant of death.
Yeah, the flies doing the birds and the bees, and then the merchant of death. Killing. It's about sex and then killing. Life is like a circle.
Similar. Mine's like a softer version of that. Mark will take you all the way. And then Pat's got the latest from the Fentanyl music tour. Great name.
Yeah, you're gonna want to hear this if you're a post-hardcore fan. Real shakeup in the scene.
Post-hardcore is the genre of music.
Yeah, bro, and I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. I tried to get into hardcore, couldn't do that. So post-hardcore is way beyond me.
Okay. It's harder core.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right.
Do they have like doctors on hand for mosh pits and stuff at those things? Like,
No,
Is it like a gathering of the juggalos or gigolos?
It's nothing like that at all. It's not like that. You guys can ask all the dumb questions you want about post-hardcore and hardcore and punk shows during the segment. I'll answer them.
Okay.
Fantastic.
did it occur after
right
the
now.
hardcore phase? Post?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Hey,
or not.
real quick question.
Way to
not
waste a
post-hardcore.
question, Mark.
Yeah.
No. This one, I have a question that's not related to post-hardcore.
Okay.
You guys ever play the game Battle Nips?
No.
I don't know if I called it that, but probably.
My son plays it with Cade almost every day.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on what your version will.
Well, it's a game online.
Mm.
I didn't realize existed. And I just got to say, I'm not going to incriminate people that introduced it to me. I'm just going to say it's a fun game.
Everyone knows that game's fake. Will, what are you talking about?
Battle Nips.
It's Battleship, but with nipples. So
You sunk
Use
my
your
nip.
bad
You sunk
page.
my breast.
yeah.
The other night it was cold in the house, and me and my wife, she commented how hard my nipples were, and I, because she could see it through the shirt or whatever, and I said, right back at you. And then I flashed her and I said, do you want to see whose is harder? And I started to come after her. So I thought I had it with Battle Nips, but
It's pretty hot.
it's
That's similar.
nip to nip, you know?
This is actually like a game. It's a home game.
You know
It's
what
an
I mean?
actual game. Yeah. No, it's fun.
Okay.
Good.
Those both versions are fun, but they have like a website, I think.
Got it. Yeah, this was off the books.
Mark's version sounds real fun.
Yeah. I had a good laugh.
All right. Well, let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah.
Like I said at the top, fools that work in schools and politics combination for you today. This is Indiana man, 37-year-old Joel R. Bowers. And here's another picture of him doing the new TikTok "Come with a Straight Face" challenge. It's pretty good. If you send us your,
He's good at it.
Send
He's
us
good
your
at it.
come with a straight face challenge pics.
What a burn that joke is.
He has many titles, including social studies teacher at Jay County Junior Senior High School here. And he's also the chairman of his local county Democratic Party. And he's a budding artist. He's a painter whose favorite medium is cheap khaki. That's what he likes to do his work on. Yeah. Back on April 9th.
His method is splat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an abstract.
Jackson Pollock.
Yeah. Back on April 9th, Mr. Bowers, or Joel the Troll, as his kids probably call him, was sitting at the front of his social studies classroom when the kids noticed something strange about the Democratic leader. Normally, despite appearing Jewish, Mr. Bowers is droning on and on and on about how evil Jews are and how the Palestinians have been an oppressed people ever since Israel's creation. But on that day, he was just sitting there behind his desk, not teaching anything, not moving. A 14-year-old student, a girl in his 6th period class, reportedly said that Mr. Bowers, quote, would not get out of his seat and didn't tell us to do anything, which was odd. Maybe after a long day of lamenting about Israel, he was tired. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
You get tired at the end of the day, right? 6th period. Hey, do what you want, kids, whatever.
So he just sat there staring at his students, but refused to get up from the desk.
Yeah, but the girl also noticed a few other things about Mr. Bowers that seemed off. First off, despite the classroom being, as Mr. Bowers would say, colder than a Jewish wife's blowjob, Mr. Bowers appeared to be sweating profusely. So that was weird.
He's working.
Cold classroom, Bowers sweating. So,
Was he sick?
Yeah, sounds sick.
Could be. The girl also noticed that Mr. Bowers had gotten really relaxed and untucked his shirt completely, and that his right hand was nowhere to be seen. Didn't know where it was.
Was he waving his left hand just to show me on?
I think his left hand was clutching the desk on top.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Like holding the other side of the desk.
Right. Get some good leverage.
So
I know where this is going.
Yeah. So she noticed Mr. Bowers is up there sweating with one hand, nowhere to be seen, and not getting and it was also there were some strange white stains on his pants. So she was like,
but he wouldn't get up.
She was
So
able
how
to
did
see
they
his
see the
pants.
She was able, I guess, under his desk, she could see. Maybe she walked past him and could see the pants. I don't know. She said, quote, there was white stuff on his pants and he would not get up for anything. He had his hand down there and he was sweating, but it was cold in his room. The 14-year-old girl said, okay.
Oh no,
So,
he popped in his pants and knew he couldn't get up.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
He went too far. He took it too far.
He went too far. He
was doing the over the pants to himself, and then he busted in his pants.
I think he unzipped and then busted on like his thigh khaki on his medium.
But if he unzipped, she could have seen his peen. He definitely was doing it through his pants. Like he definitely was. Maybe his hand was in there, but he didn't take it out.
Right. Well, it was probably covered in cum.
Well, his hand was. Yes, and his pants were. But he didn't take it out. Clearly, he did.
He was hiding the hand. And
when the kids were in the class,
he couldn't take the hand out.
Couldn't take it out.
And he couldn't get up.
Right. Yeah. He was.
So did he like finish right before the class came in, and then he just sat there not knowing what to do?
Yeah, he was frozen.
No, wait, did he do it mid class or was it?
No. I don't think that there was any motion involved in the description of what was happening. He was just frozen at the front of the classroom.
Right, but how long was he going to have to sit? Was it like a full period, or was this like in the middle of a class towards the end of the class, and he was just waiting for the bell?
I don't know the exact time. I think probably when they got in, he was. It
sounds like he committed the crime between periods.
Yes.
And then was trying to just sit at his desk and pretend nothing happened for his entire class.
A teacher came in or something, like he couldn't get it cleaned in time. Someone came in early, a student came in early.
Right. My mom has come down when I was in high school in the basement, after I had just done a Bowers, and I was frozen. I couldn't move.
Yeah, it's Bowers now.
Yeah.
Forever.
Someone came in early to talk about an assignment, and he's like, "Stay right there."
Yeah. So now the girl eventually told administrators about the odd behavior. The school contacted the police. Mr. Bowers denied the whole thing, denied the sweat, the blank stare of coming in front of his classroom, the hand down his pants. And he told the school administrators and police that the stains were actually just paint. So he was doing his best.
Sherman Williams jizz.
Yeah. Vincent Van, oh my God, I'm coming.
I got this new type of clear ultra sheen paint.
Yeah.
The last place you'd be stained from painting is the crotch.
Yeah.
What were you painting in the middle of the day?
I've gotten a lot of semen on my pants inadvertently.
Dangerous game, right?
I almost always wear black pants. Almost always.
Oh, no. Yeah, you got to watch out.
And never once. I also do a lot of home improvement. Never once, ever in a million years could it be confused for paint. Not in a million years.
Because it's it's a notoriously easy to spot style of stain.
You sure you didn't say paste?
Paste, yes.
There's a little
paste,
stiffness to it. There's a little stiffness to it.
Oatmeal, spit, snot.
I was brushing my pants.
Maybe like I sneezed snot, wiped it on my pants. That might be.
There's been times that I haven't washed my pants for a week or two, and looked down. I'm like, oh, that kind of looks like, but isn't. You know what I mean? But it's not paint. I couldn't tell you what it was.
Paint is maybe varnish. You could say it was like you were trying to polish something.
Bleach.
And then
bleach accident.
Guys, this guy was in a panic. Okay,
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
he
was
in his pants
the whole time. This guy was in a panic attack for the entire
I'm in a
time.
school. He saw the art class. He's like, paint.
It's hard to believe, though. It's hard to believe.
It's shock. We don't have a chalkboard.
That he could put himself in this situation.
Yeah, it is hard to believe, isn't it?
He's that horny.
It's insane. It's insane to think anyone would put themselves in this situation.
You bring up a good point, Pat.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, real hard to believe.
But I don't know. I mean, it seems like this girl's jumping to a lot of conclusions.
Is it just a
she was right, though.
She said?
No,
Yeah,
I think she jumped to the exact right conclusion. It gets worse for this pillar of the community. While investigating the classroom jerk-off incident, police discovered a Snapchat conversation between Bowers and a 15-year-old girl, where the Democrat sent the underage girl nudes of himself and probably a few of his favorite paintings.
Okay, so I think I saw this on
what he was yanking it to. Oh no!
I think I saw this on social media yesterday before I knew about this story.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and it was like busted again. I gotta see. Let me see if I can find this video. We'll play it later in the show. If it's the same one, if it's the same guy, it's fucking. I thought it was just a random pedo getting busted, but it's insane if it's the same one. Let me see. I'll see if I can find it.
You mean he did this? You mean he did? Okay, so he got
there's a
caught for the
video
jerk-
online.
Yeah.
There's a video online of a guy who looks a lot like that guy, just clean shaven,
like Joel.
Yeah, but the 15-year-old seemed like a trap. It seemed like
Wait, Pat, you're saying he grew a beard and did it again?
Well, Pat, he does say that he met the girl on a chat platform that requires you to be 18 years old. That was his excuse.
The video I saw, I'll see if I can find it. The video I saw seemed like he got set up and walked right into the trap.
Well, he seems easy to set up if he's jerking off.
No, yeah.
Say something, Mr. Bowers. We're worried.
Mr. Bowers, speak if you're not masturbating.
They're clapping in his face. Speak if you're not masturbating. So again, he was also the so he was placed on administrative leave from the county schools on April 11th, 2 days after the incident. He resigned then. He was also chairman of the Democratic Party in Jay County. I don't know if it was his official, but here's his Facebook page of the Jay County Democrats, where he is still grouped by Joel Bowers with the donkeys looking out the window.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, they're going to kick him off as soon as somebody gets the 80 credentials from him.
Well, yeah. He resigned from that position as well. I did see one very telling post, however, from September 27th, even though comments have been turned off by the page, that could be related to this case. It just says this homecoming parade has been canceled. Don't know if that's related or not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mr. Bowers jacked off in class so hard he got homecoming canceled.
Everything's canceled. Yeah. Everything's
man.
canceled. So he was released from the county jail on $3,000 bond. He was scheduled for a hearing Monday. And he faces between 6 months to 2.5 years behind bars with an advisory.
Yeah, he's
sentence.
stuck with the 15-year-old thing. That's he's oh, wow.
I mean, 6 months is low for jerking off in the classroom.
God damn, I gotta find this fucking thing, dude. If it's the same thing, it's crazy.
Yeah, but then you have this on your record forever, and when people
yeah.
go through the details of what Mr. Bowers did,
You carry the stain like it's on your pants forever.
Yeah.
Unwatchable
You
jizz
should
stain
have
on
got
your
those.
entire
You
life.
should have got those dry fit Dockers in those commercials back in the day. Those
That's
things
what I
were
was
like
thinking
an
too, Mark.
advertisement for coming in your pants.
Exactly. Waterproof lining,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
So
Every time I saw the Dockers commercial, I was like, I could shoot one out in these, no problem.
How did
did. That's
Bowers
what you
not
thought.
like?
That's what I
You
thought
think
every
he would-
time.
Well, I thought that same
first thing I
thought.
thought.
right? You would think that Bowers would key in on that. Like he's the kind of guy who needs to be keeping his head on.
No,
his
he wore some
football years.
starchy ass khakis.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like coming in your pants has come a long way with technology. And so
he was
should've-
Snapchatting with that underage girl. Probably he got real excited and just couldn't
that's
wait
the
for
real
it to get
crime.
home. Couldn't wait
He
one
was
more
like-
period.
10 more minutes before anyone comes in. I got this.
Clean up.
Then he realized there was the sink.
You're safe, Joel. You can do it. It's kind of hot, isn't it, Joel?
Don't do it.
To your
Joel.
point, Pat, totally insane. That's
Kind of
the
hot.
most move you could
Just hear-
possibly
Just
do.
hears shoes shuffling outside.
He doesn't even lock the door. He just
Yeah.
sees.
No need.
A psycho. So we'll find out maybe what happens to Joel. If anyone's in Jay County in Indiana, let us know if you hear anything about Mr. Bowers.
That's tough.
Okay.
That is
What a way to
tough.
start the show.
I was gonna say, like, maybe it's alleged, but no, I mean they found the 15-year-old DM, so it's like, no, he's totally fucked. Yeah.
Well, we know it wasn't paint. We know that much, right?
No, it wasn't
That's for sure.
And he was sweating profusely over whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably have those pants in a evidence room somewhere.
And he resigned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he resigned quick.
What do
Yeah,
you
the
do?
whole-
What do you do
whole
like that
thing,
next
yeah.
week?
Yeah.
Or like,
Hmm.
let's say he doesn't do time.
You put your house up for
Whatever.
sale.
Yeah, what do you do?
Move.
Like,
you can't live in Indiana.
move.
you just hope your
Change
parents are
name.
alive so you can
Change
live in
your
their
name.
basement. I
You
mean,
hope
like,
they're
what's
not- you hope
next?
they're dead.
What's the next couple years look like for you?
Well, he's gonna have to lose the beard again.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to change his look.
Get a
He's got to
wig.
go through a total personal transformation, and he's really got to try to drop the pedophilia when he comes through on the other side of that. And then if he can do that, maybe he can put something together.
Wow.
Put something together. I'm gonna scrape something together.
It's his best shot.
Take a week to think, Pat.
I'm gonna scrape a life together here.
Like, what? Yeah, I always think about that. What do they do?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think move is the first thing you should do.
Yes.
Yeah.
First and foremost, you got to pretend you're not Mr. Bowers for the rest of your life. So
Yeah, change your name, move.
step
Yeah.
one, then go from there.
Yeah.
Can you change your name if you are a registered sex offender? I don't know if you're
It's a
allowed
really
to.
good question. It's a really
Probably
good
not.
question.
Probably not.
You probably change your first name, maybe, but not your last name. That's a good question, though.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe try to go by your middle name.
Right.
Yeah, for your last name. Yeah. Try to-
But dude, like,
Bowers,
there's
common as we all thought we had a Bowers teacher. So,
I think it's at Harvard, one of the elite universities. Some kids dropped a prototype of these glasses that use the technology like PIM eyes.
Yeah.
facial recognition, yeah.
Right. Which is like
Those glasses would get Bowers so quick.
I mean, first of all, there's this thing, PIM eyes. You can go on there right now. It's not the best, but it works, and it's only going to get better. Where you can drop like a photo of anyone, and it'll pull up shit that they had no idea was on the internet about them.
anything that the
And
AI
these glasses will
can
tap
about
into
their
that.
identity.
Yeah,
Not
so
to mention those glasses have black light, so you can just look at his crotch too, and it's
Right. That's Bowers.
Yeah.
X-ray vision.
That's
Yeah.
all right.
oh,
It's not paint, and that's Bowers.
don't you kids have somewhere you should be? You're early.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a long. That's long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I would
Well,
just,
Wes,
I would,
that-
sta-
that
I
was
would
awesome.
stab myself. I would
Yeah.
stab myself in the hand and start bleeding everywhere and draw attention to that and like cover the jizz and blood and be like, "Oh my god, I'll be
It
right
would-
back."
It's not a
That
bad
would have
idea.
been a better
Stab
you're-
yourself.
approach.
You know Eric Rudolph, the bomber that did Atlanta and the abortion clinics and shit.
Mhm.
His brother, when they were searching for Rudolph, cut off his hand, his own hand.
Desperate measures.
Yeah, to essentially to be like, leave me alone, or to be like, maybe I was involved, but now I paid my penance for it.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
It's nuts. They put the hand back on, but it's all jacked up.
Sure.
Can't wire any bombs to that hand.
He maimed himself.
Yeah. All right.
In Japan, that'd probably go a long way in Japan.
It's huge
They're-
in Japan.
Will, you want to go? You want me to go?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was going, right? Isn't I supposed to go?
You go. You go.
It's go time.
Okay. Yeah. Let's move on to the birds and the bees. Fun fact from Mike on IG. Did you know that people train bees for use at the airport?
Did
You
not.
know that?
What
No
do
idea.
What do they detect? Bombs?
So here you go.
Bees sit in a class, but what they learn is surprising. After being collected from their hive, these little workers are placed in a fridge. This cools them down, making them easier to handle. Once they're calm, they get fitted with tiny harnesses. Yes, bees in harnesses. Then, the real lesson begins. The bees are exposed to the smell of explosives. But here's the trick. In the last 3 seconds, they're given a sweet water treat. It's like rewarding them with candy every time they smell something dangerous. After just 4 rounds of this, the bees that stick out their tongues are officially trained to recognize that explosive scent. Now, they're ready for the field. The bees are placed inside a special device with little cartridges, each housing 1 bee. A sensor or camera keeps a close watch on them. When the bees detect the explosive smell in the air, they extend their tongues, a clear sign they've picked up the scent they were trained for.
What if they
The
just
device
want
gathers
sugar?
air samples, and for 6 seconds the bees sniff away. If all the bees stick out their tongues, it's a big red flag that explosives are present. The best part? After a few days of sniffing out explosives, the bees are sent back to their hive, safe and sound.
Oh, just a couple
I mean-
days of torture.
Wow.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, their whole. When they
So
don't
do they
live long,
fly
right?
to it, or do they just stick their tongue out at
They
terrorists?
think
No.
that they associate the smell of
The humans have to
explosives
find it. The
with
humans
sugar.
set the alarm off, and everyone gets shut down in place. And then they
Which
look
is
for a
why,
bomb.
if you've ever traveled with a bag that has like, I don't know, gunpowder on it or something, the bees, they stuck out their tongues when they, and then you didn't have a bomb on you, but the bees thought you did. 'Cause-
That's cool.
That's
Never-
crazy.
Never traveled with a bag like that.
Yeah. But I have a couple times. But it's cool. Like I didn't know that inside that fucking machine that they're stuffing down your bag, that there's a bunch of bees in there. That's pretty crazy, right?
That is weird.
That is.
What if they could smell sugar and you had like honey in your bag? You're not allowed to
Yeah,
have
maybe.
that, but I mean,
Maybe people are getting busted for sugar. I mean,
yeah,
I know they give a lot of false positives. I'll say that about the
for
bees.
sure. For sure. That's crazy.
Now onto the birds. And I gotta admit, I'm in the hot seat after reading this story. Did you know that feeding modern bread, like a bread that's processed like in modern ways from a grocery store, did you know that feeding that bread to geese could potentially take away their ability to fly?
You can maim geese with bread.
With
Because they
bread.
get too fat, like they're too full. I know that certain birds will gorge themselves to the point where they can't fly.
Kind of.
Condors will do that.
You give them diabetes.
Kind of, but it's different. It's diabetes of the wings, Mark.
Right.
It's called angel wings. I'm going to show you a picture of it. And male Canadian geese in particular just can't handle modern processed breads. And if they eat a bunch of it, their feathers will grow too fast for the bones to keep up with. And the last joint of the wing gets twisted, causing the wing feathers to point away from the body. Ipso facto, these geese will never fly for life from eating bread.
I've been giving myself angel wings for the past decade.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
too. It
If I was a
explains lot.
goose, I would give myself angel wings so I didn't have to make that treacherous migration every year. Be like, you guys go
Yeah,
ahead.
But they do that for a very specific reason, Wes. It's so they don't freeze to death.
And to mate too. Yeah, a lot of things that geese probably want to do. So
Sorry, go on without me. I got the angel wings.
I'll just
Yeah,
get
you got the
taken
angel
care of by a concerned human. You guys
That's
go
true.
ahead.
That is true. You need to find that human, but if you find that human, then you are set up.
Yeah.
no, you're right, Wes. For the goose, it's a great deal. I'll be honest with you. For the goose, it's a great deal. But this does mean, as Wes points out, they will not migrate, and your parks will always be covered in goose shit year round. So feed the birds corn if you can, and give bread to geese at your own peril. You may end up stepping in goose shit at that park for their average life expectancy of 10 to 24 years. And you won't get any seasonal break in the goose shit. It's just going to be goose shit year round. It's already happening in Portland, Maine. Apparently it could happen anywhere.
Angel wings is an ironic name for crippled wings.
Well, it's because
Yes,
it's
for a
because
debilitated bird. Yeah.
we gave the name and also created the problem. So you don't like if you're the person who's creating the disability, you don't want to call it like human induced disability.
Yeah.
Because
Bread
it makes you
wings.
sound like an asshole.
Bread wings is good though.
Bread wings is better. Yeah.
More accurate.
Yeah.
Right on the nose.
Because I feel like how do you explain that to a kid? You're like, that goose has angel wings.
He's my little angel because he's gonna die and be with the angels. He's my little angel wing.
I'm gonna die this winter.
Yeah.
Bread wings makes more sense. We should call it diabetes type 2, like bread blood or something like that, so people understand it better too.
Yeah.
What do they call goose on a menu, Will?
A goose.
Delicious.
They call it goose. I thought that was like a name for it, so you didn't think it was goose.
Is there like a special name for goose
I
breast?
think so.
It's called the number 6.
I mean, goose is pretty
with
good.
fried rice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People can dry it out. People
I'll
can
have a
dry it
number
out.
6. You know what I mean?
You got to watch out. It could get dried out very easily. So we've done the birds and the bees. Now on to crimes of passion. What's that, Pat?
I get
You
it
got a
now.
name for it.
I just get it now.
Oh yeah,
The birds and the bees. I mean,
Yes. Yeah. And then Mark will give you more about birds and the bees.
I got
but
more
on to
insects.
crimes of passion, which can be related to the birds and the bees. This one's not. What is a food item that you guys love so much that you couldn't stand for it? You'd have to make a scene if somebody took it out of your stash, like if they raided it from your fridge or your pantry. What's a food that you hold dearly to you? It's important to you.
Nachos.
Milk.
whatever I just bought at the store for me, or like if I go to like the CVS
Like a pre-made thing or something
to get formula or some shit, I pick up a Gatorade and some Doritos for me. Right, and then I come back and Kate's drinking that Gatorade. Or like
it's Pat's.
Like tonight, I ordered some Uber Eats with from this dumpling place, and I know when I get upstairs after the show, my son's gonna have eaten it because Kate is gonna be like, "Oh, Daddy got this for all of us."
Oh yeah, kids change that so much. That's tough.
Oh,
Yeah.
So anything like that.
you're looking forward to that.
Yeah. I just know it's gonna be gone when I get up there.
It's gonna be gone. Oh, you didn't get that for all of us?
Pat, you got to get a mini fridge down in the studio, bro.
Yeah, that's true. Kind of maxed out on outlets down here.
Your stash, true. All right. Well, for me, it's probably like steaks. You can get away with taking like pretty much anything from my kitchen, but if you took like a full package of nice steaks, I might have to say something. It might be a problem. And I've never understood it, but for many Southern men, you guys have maybe run into this too, especially older ones. That most cherished food item can often be Vienna sausages. Just like tiny canned hot dogs. Pretty shitty to me, but to some, a delicacy. Vienna
Put the
sausage.
other one back up. Well, I want to read what, because this is just marketing at its best. Okay, it's Vienna sausage packets. It's Libby's Vienna sausage made with chicken, beef, and pork, added in chicken broth. It's everything, brother. It's all the animals hanging out together, having a good time.
Yeah, and it's just like cold, brothy hot dogs that some people just can't get it. They eat them raw, straight out of the. Well, they're not raw, but they eat them straight out of the can. A delicacy to many I've found in the South. And one man in a Tybee Island, Georgia retirement home learned that the hard way late last month. The unnamed man, a resident of the nursing home, was accused of stealing a can of Vienna sausages. One can. These things are tiny, very small, from another unnamed male resident. And the accusation came to light during the police investigation for one of the unnamed residents, males, stabbing the other man in the chest with a knife for either stealing or being accused of stealing the singular can of Vienna sausages. So these two men, at least one of them, loved Vienna sausages so much that he stabbed the other one either for the can of sausages or for being accused of stealing the can of sausages.
Was he trying to cut a hole in his chest and retrieve the sausages? Give me back.
So. Maybe it was the guy that got him. Yeah, I mean, it's unclear which man brandished the blade and stabbed the other elderly man in the chest with it, but it's clear that it was over an argument over one can of Vienna sausages.
I feel like there's a direct correlation between extreme love of Vienna sausages and the ability to stab someone over Vienna sausages.
Oh yeah, Wes, 100%.
I feel like this isn't the first time this has happened over Vienna sausages.
Right.
No, This is a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
I also feel like it was possibly a multi-tool can opener.
Maybe because he's always ready to fucking open that can. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, what am I going to use this on now that you stole my sausages?
In case I pulled too hard.
Yeah. Most guys who are opening Vienna sausages are doing it with a camp can opener. You know, one of the ones that pop bottle, but it's a blade. Yeah, some of them do, but
or the sharp
guys, especially in Tybee Island retirement home, are old school. Yeah. They want a certain brand.
They wish there was a big oil drum there with a fire on top of it.
I can't afford all that pull tab shit. I'm on a fixed income.
It's true. It's a luxury.
That's why I have my camp can opener.
That's why they're in a coastal retirement home. I think maybe one or both have some children with means or
so the waves didn't calm the breeze and the views didn't calm them down. They're still stabbing over the Vienna sausages.
Chest stabbing over Vienna sausages. Both elderly men, I believe, are expected to survive, with the stabby one, whichever he was, being taken directly to jail. And then, so it's really just a PSA, you know, grab a Southerner's Vienna sausage can at your own risk.
Yeah, but he took one for the team because the guy, whether he was the stabby or stabber, is never going to steal anyone's food ever again.
True. Now that it's national news. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
So kind of a hero.
I gotta try. I don't know if I've ever had. I've had little wieners like that you put in like jelly and like cocktail wieners, but I don't. Yeah, I've had the little wieners, but I never had the Vienna sausage. I don't think.
I mean, it's not so different. It's just they're in broth. The part that weirds me out is that like people just eat them room temperature in the broth, and it's just like I don't know. It's just
what weirds me out is when you get multiple
little smokies
dead animals
heated up. You know, like that's
together.
Yeah, it's like a chicken nugget without being delicious and breaded, and it tells you right away. It's like a disgusting hot dog.
I'm a one meat guy.
And it's a tube. You know, it's like a tubular meat. You know, and those things, I feel like it's got to be at least a little warm. These are room temp.
Trick me with the shitty meats. Don't tell me.
I'm gonna pick some up tomorrow.
Lets you know. Yeah, give it a shot. Try it on air.
Well, you know who gets a bad rap like Vienna sausages?
Spam?
Fruit flies.
Don't bother me.
Right? No one's ever like, oh, cool, there's some fruit flies right here in the house by the sink. How cute. You know what I mean?
It's one of the only times you tolerate a swarm in your own house.
I don't know if you tolerate it. You're disgusted by it. You don't.
Well,
I won't have guests over. You're embarrassed. It's like, come on.
But a swarm of anything else, you're going to act a lot quicker than a swarm of fruit flies. You might walk by a swarm of fruit flies, like, I'll deal with that when I get home today. If there's a swarm of anything else in your house, you're like, I'm not going to work. I'm calling the
It's true, but you're also not like naming them. You know, like that's Greg.
No, you're maiming them.
Yeah, you're maiming them, right? They're treated like cockroaches almost. But maybe
you find the source and eliminate it. I mean, that's
absolutely. Usually it's something in your sink. Or left out fruit in the pantry, or gold fruit, pantry or sink. But maybe this story about fruit flies might change your mind a little bit on them, because male fruit flies like to fuck. It's true. They're hound dogs. Ow, ow. The sweeter the berry, the sweeter the juice. And these bastards
do it on that raspberry, bitch.
They're always doing it on food.
Yeah.
And these bastards are relentless. They go full-on Pepe Le Pew, following the scent of tail up to 26 yards, which is the equivalent of 9 miles for humans. They fly almost half a marathon for that ass.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and the whole time,
if you were an animal, though, it's all you can do is fuck. So I mean,
you got a short life.
You could eat too.
Fuck, that's it.
Yeah, short life. The whole time they're flying to get ass, they sing and they vibrate their wings. They're like, here I come to make fruit fly babies with you. And they only do this when they get a boner. So they have to be attracted to the female fruit fly. If they aren't aroused, they just completely ignore it. They won't even look at the women. So these guys are flying with full-on boners up to 9 miles. Finally, they track down the broads. And
there's no one's stopping you to chat. You know what I mean?
Singing with the boner.
Is it uncomfortable for them? I mean, because for a man, that'd be kind of an awkward run.
Yeah, it's half their body weight. Well,
there's no annoying neighbors popping in to have a conversation you don't want to have.
No,
it's a great flight.
Mr. Bowers got a little fruit fly in him. They're going up and down. They keep losing velocity. But when they finally get there, bad news. Sometimes, well, not always. Sometimes she lets him stick his penis that has sharp hooks and spines that serve as Velcro. That serve as Velcro to hold her down in place inside of her. So sometimes she does that. Yeah.
It looks like he's sticking his whole body inside.
Well, he's all penis. Will the males are smaller?
That can't be real.
It's real.
Wow,
it's so human.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. But sometimes she says no, and like any good man knows, no means no. So he gives her, what he does, he gives her like one more. Come on, baby. And looks at his huge penis, fly erection.
I'm fully erect.
And he looks at her.
Flying around here?
I flew all the way over here. And she's like, no. And he goes, all right, whatever. And what do you think he does next?
Ask the next one, the next chick who he smells.
He gets fucking hammered. He says, okay, thanks for breaking my tiny heart. I'll just fly the 26-ish yards back to the liquor cabinet in this house, and then probably literally drinks himself to death. When they get rejected, they go straight to booze.
Interesting.
Come on.
Not joking.
It's relatable.
Yeah,
that's why you catch him. That's why you can catch him in the wine glass. That's awesome.
Yes, in the wine glass. Also, just if you know all those fruit flies you see in the bottom of liquor bottles at disgusting bars or in your home, if you're disgusting, are probably sad males. You can probably still see their boners, and you're probably drinking their semen if you continue to drink from those bottles.
Okay, well, they're so small.
It just becomes a big gay orgy in the bottom of the wine barrel.
You too?
Pretty much, Wes. Yeah.
What are we gonna do with these boners?
Yeah, we gotta fuck something.
Well, we're down here.
Damn. All right. Well, I feel bad for him, but now I know why you can kill him with a glass of wine, because you just kill all the males. Basically, eventually, all the males are gone.
Yeah, if you've got a lot of booze laying around, you can get rid of your fruit flies pretty quick because the females can't reproduce by themselves. So
you drop a little bit of Dawn dish detergent in that wine. See ya.
Oh, it's so
Lights
fun
out.
to catch them.
Yeah,
it's like a little science engineering project.
Yep, he's got to wait out the females. They only live a couple days. Now you know a little bit more about fruit flies. You should probably know a little bit about the merchant of death who's back in business. He can't change his ways just like a male fruit fly. He gets aroused, but he gets aroused by arms deals, and he's willing to travel fruit fly level distances to get that cash. You know what he says? Ashes, get the cashes. You shoot, I get the loot. He says,
name is Victor Boot.
Yeah, Victor Bout. He goes, you leave the bag at my front door, and you'll have your war.
He loves it. He loves dealing arms.
He does.
Yeah.
He doesn't care that it does harms.
No, he doesn't care at all. The son of a
Brittany
bitch.
Griner getting arrested was the best day of his life.
Yes.
Victor Bout.
So Victor Bout was released and traded for Brittany Griner. I think a military guy of ours, right? So one other guy. It was like a 2 for 2.
It was a journalist, wasn't it?
Journalist, maybe.
But
the son of a bitch, Victor Bout, who was released and traded in that deal in 2022, the prisoner swap, was caught making his first known arms deal since he's been released back to Russia. A $10 million. Look at that
just
mustache.
the first time he's been caught.
No,
he
it's not
dealing arms. He started dealing arms the first day he got back to Russia. I mean,
behind bars he was dealing arms.
Yeah.
But this is his first in the out in the open caught $10 million automatic weapons package to the Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen. So he's back.
Yeah. There you go.
Dang.
Victor
Bout.
Arming the foes of NATO.
I like to think he's a huge WNBA guy now. I like to think about that. All right, guys, real quick breaking news. Mexican Coke has been kicked off the Fentanyl tour. Asbestos will now be installed as direct support.
Wait,
I have
Mexican
no idea
Coke.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mexican Coke is like a great, delicious drink.
Yeah.
But it's
What's
not
the
that. It's
fentanyl
these
for,
guys.
Pat?
It's the
Okay.
Houston post-hardcore band Mexican Coke,
Oh,
whose
right, post-hardcore.
gimmick is the singer wears a ski mask and has a sawed-off shotgun on stage.
That he points at the crowd.
Cool.
Yeah, tough because they're from Houston, and look, most bars, 51% rule, you can't bring a gun in. But look, these guys aren't playing premier venues, okay? These are grown men playing 150 cap rooms. No shame in it, but I guess maybe the
A little, right? I mean,
That's very little, yes. And goddamn,
it's
are
like a
these
little
bands-
bit of shame, right? I mean,
Well, no, I'm not shitting on anyone that's playing 150 cap rooms, but I am saying like maybe the reason you are playing 150 cap rooms is because you're on a tour with 3 bands that are ungoogleable.
yeah.
Try to Google Fentanyl, Mexican Coke, or Asbestos and find their music.
Well,
You
also,
can't.
Also, small venues, because we, we're in bands as kids, often are like, like if they're pointing a sawed-off shotgun at people like at the indoor soccer center, it's
They might
kinda
not be
awkward.
with it.
Yeah, the Garden's not going to be like, you're going to point the sawed-off shotgun at the crowd. I don't know. If
No,
they're
you
gonna
never
be
go
into
into the garden if you're Mexican
Right.
Coke, guys.
No, they're going. That's what I'm saying. Like indoor soccer fields, parking lots of grocery stores.
They
stuff like
probably
that.
go to venues where they don't even tell them about the sawed-off shotgun.
Guys, I'll be honest with you. They don't even care to really announce their shows properly. I mean, none of these guys have websites, which is okay. A lot of people use Bands in Town or Songkick. I mean, the music venue that they said they played at Salt Lake City, which is what led to Mexican Coke getting kicked off the tour. Fentanyl was the only band that had it listed on their Bands in Town, and they had the wrong venue listed. I don't know how this tour is going. I don't know.
Salt Lake
Grueling
City,
tour. It's what 13 days in a row.
It's actually yes. Wes, that's a really good point. However, it is really well routed. I got to give it to whoever routed this tour. It's fantastically well routed. Okay.
13 days.
So they have. So one guy in the fentanyl tour is a
14.
great planner, and then
Well, I guarantee this is self-booked. But look, it's tough to route a tour this well. Now, you want to have a day off, usually a Monday or a Tuesday, but you can't fucking afford it if you're playing 150 cap room with 3 bands on it. Okay, you can't do it. They will not be on the Vancouver show today, or the Seattle show, the Portland show, Sacramento, or San Francisco show. They're not. Asbestos will be direct support. Why did they get kicked off the tour? Well, let's go to the subreddit for hardcore, the /r hardcore subreddit. And there's a quote from one of the posters. Vocalist from Mexican Coke got his ass beat in Salt Lake City tonight, was the title of the post. And it goes on to say, the vocalist from Mexican Coke spent the entire show drinking in excess, treating young concert goers poorly. And by the way, anytime you play Salt Lake City, it's a really unique city, obviously, because it's almost all Mormons. Like the people that come out they're like the most hardcore people in their community, but they're still milquetoast as fuck.
They're all jacked up on sodas.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
He was treating young concertgoers poorly, cussed out the audience, continued to egg on a group of drunk punks in the audience, and then refused to start performing until he had another beer in his hand. Not something you can do in a 150 cap room. After a song and a half of drunken mumbling, which that gives him a lot of credit because you can't make out any word he's saying when he's singing on the record.
that's the genre. You can't
Right.
blame him for being part of the genre.
That's
Okay.
right. Like saying I couldn't make out the words of a post-hardcore band is pretty dumb. Anyway, whatever.
That's how he got into the biz.
People start throwing beer cans, also
Gotta put
something
this
that
to
happens
use.
at punk shows. And one of the drunk punks came up and started swinging him out on him on stage. Multiple other people came to aid on both sides. It ended with the vocalist having his shirt torn off. And a commenter added a little context. He said, "You missed half the story." He was calling the audience members homos and F words, throwing beer cans in people's faces. He broke an $80 piece of microphone equipment, which is a microphone,
Which is
because you said
huge at that
microphone.
venue. That
Oh, it's
venue
huge,
cannot
bro.
afford another broken mic. I mean,
You
it's just,
can't.
they're on their last 5 mics as it is. Like
That's true, and that's generous. And on top of that, he proceeded to call someone the N-word. People who came up to kick his ass were the
jeez,
people
dude.
running the
Lost-
They
venue.
called the
Lost
one
over
black
that
guy in
one.
Salt Lake City.
the venue guy, the promoter, came to kick his ass.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah, the rest of the band seemed bewildered as everyone else there. I talked to Fentanyl, and they said
Street
he's been like that all tour. Don't want to throw the rest of the band on their bus. Fentanyl didn't. It was just the singer who decided to throw a drunk temper tantrum. A couple other notes, guys. Herpes, HIV, and HIPV were rumored to be on the tour but didn't show. And I know I was
They'll
going to tell
pop
you
up.
I was going to tell you a little bit about post-punk, which we don't really have time for, but I will say these bands have influenced a lot of up-and-comers, including mesothelioma, cardiac arrest, and respiratory failure, which are like post-punk bands.
Dude, you can't even understand that.
It's tough
Don't even
because
try to wrap
Mexican
your head
Coke
around
was
it.
the least dangerous substance on the tour, so it's crazy that they got kicked off. Anyway, that's the show. Get out there, have a great effing day.